I think we're standing in front of the military base because that was the next place we were going to explore. There was 4 places we had to explore. One of them was the plushie factory, which we did. There's this one. There's Nagito's room. And then there's Scene missing. There's one other place we need to look at that I don't remember what it is. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, Kaz is here. Who I am very suspicious of. I was thinking it was Sonia for so long, but I'm really feeling Kaz lately. I guess we talked to Kaz first, and then we talked all the things. Damn it. This dangerous place is the reason all of this messed up stuff is happening. Leaving guns out in the open is totally dangerous. Seriously, they gotta take better care of these. It's easy to say that, but there's no one on this island who can do that. Still, lock up your guns. Don't leave them lying out. When I tried looking through the truck bed, it's empty. There's nothing in here. When I first came here, there was something on the truck bed, which means that Sonia was telling the truth. Yeah, why use guns when curses can be so much more creative? Exactly. And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. But did Nagito know that the bombs weren't real? It's possible that he thought that they were the real thing. No, never mind. He said as much in his video message. So, were you surprised? Seriously, think about it. Do you really think there are enough bombs to blow up an entire island? I mean, yes, but not necessarily the ones that you had access to. Even if there were, a guy like me would never be able to use them. That's true. He knew the bombs were fake. He only did what he did to weed out the traitor. No, is that really it? Did Nagito only do that to expose the traitor? Maybe there was a different motive behind his actions. Okay, next truck. A huge supply of guns and other firearms are stuffed into the truck bed. Oh, found it. What did you find? Well, that truck bed over there has guns in it, but I also found stuff like a survival knife. Wait, that's... Isn't that the same type of knife that was stabbed through Nagito's right hand? Which means the killer obtained that knife here. So the killer is someone who visited this military base at least once. While we have boars, wolves, and mountain lions and bears, curses don't tend to work too well or fast enough when one is trying to make your internal organs external. Yeah. Yeah. Nature is fucking scary. You know? People... I always find it amusing when people in Australia, because the whole, like, joke of, like, everything in Australia is trying to kill you. And then people in Australia are like, have you seen a fucking moose? Yeah, I have. It is very scary, actually. Yeah. You know, it's different when, like, there's a small deadly thing, like a snake or something, that's like, hey, don't fucking step on me, you know? Or like a wolf who's like, I'm hungry, you know? When a fucking moose goes after you, it just wants to fuck you up. It's not gonna eat you, it doesn't feel threatened by you. It's just, it's had enough of your life. So the killer is someone who visited this military base at least once. That's everyone, though. Nope, not me. This is the first time I've been here. Isn't it? I feel like I'm watching Clue and I'm trying to remember who's in the background of different scenes. Has Kaz not been to the military base before? That sounds fishy. If the bombs were fake, this might be fake too. But I'm not brave enough to check for myself. I mean, technically, I feel like for high school students, if the bombs were real, a semi-good strategy would have been for everybody to just duck and cover inside the tank. You know? It's not a perfect strategy, but it's at least better than, like, crying out in the open. We don't need the monitor or the air surveillance camera. It's that dreadful helicopter, the one that executed Teruteru. Really, this helicopter is my best friend after that. It doesn't have anything to do with the incident. I still love how not a single person has tried to fire that up to see if they can get off the island. Okay, I think that's everything here. We'll try talking to Kaz again to see if there's additional dialogue now. No, it's the same dialogue. Okay, so that's it for here. Does anyone remember the other place we're supposed to go to? We've gone to the factory and the military base. I suppose we can take it, like, there wasn't a lot to look at some of these other places. So we can pop in just to see if there's anything else. Yeah, like this only has the camera and the monitor, so it's not here. My stomach did just growl, though. It also wants the food stalls. Let's try Seeking Industries, see if there's anything. Okay, the music was actually kind of epic for that entrance right there. Machine being made here looks like it's modeled after a four-legged animal. Is this a monobeast? Does it mean that they were made here? Monokuma said this place is for making these, but this place is supposed to manufacture machine parts. So why are they making dangerous things like this? Yeah, this is the same text as before. Yeah, investigating the incident for... Well, I don't remember where the places I'm supposed to investigate are, game, okay? Yeah, this is the same. This is why I was kind of theorizing that Sonia might be a robot. Okay, nothing here. Okay, let's try a slightly different tactic too, because people tend to be where we're supposed to investigate. You know, like Akane and Sonia are here at the plushie factory, and then Kaz is at the military base. So, no, that didn't. So where else do we have people? First island. Somebody's gonna be at Nagito's room, right? Yeah, Chiaki is there. So where's Fuyuhiko? Is he at the last place we're supposed to investigate? Ah, there we go. Nizumi Castle. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the castle first. And then we will go to Nagito's room. Yeah, at least we have an even split of guys and girls again. Yeah. Like I said, I was saying for like so long that Kaz and Sonia are flying under the radar. And I was so suspicious of Sonia until the last stream. I think that she's a red herring. I think it might be Kaz. Okay, Nizumi Castle. Give me your coffee. I need you. Okay, so there is one missing from the wall there for the spears, which means that Nagito was murdered between when we were here and, like, when we found him, which is a very, very narrow, like, window. Ew. Look at that wall of spears. I guess it's obvious where the weapon came from. The spear with the flashy ornament on it is hanging from the wall. The spear is definitely it, right? Just as I thought. It looks exactly like the spear that killed Nagito. The same whip-like cord is attached to the handle, and there's a weight at the end of it. Plus, it looks like one of the spears on the wall is missing. There's no mistaking it. The killer took one of the spears and used it as a weapon. Spear of Gungnir, huh? Monokuma would totally come up with a lame name like that. But why did the killer use the spear and a knife? Yeah, they could have just killed him with the knife, and it would have been easier, too. There's no way a spear like this is necessary. There's no way a spear like this with its unnecessary cord thing on it would be easy to use. Yeah, it definitely looks hard to wield. But still, they chose the spear for a reason. What could that reason be? I feel a little tired. Now, no matter how much I investigate, I don't feel any closer to the truth. That's probably why I feel this way. Or the fact that it's 8:27 in the morning. I'm feeling a strange feeling that I've never felt before. As if Nagito is trying to make us suffer, even after he's like, wow, you're blaming that on Nagito? Look, the man's dead, okay? Yes, he was kind of a dickbag in life. He was very frustrating to deal with, but I don't think that you can blame any of this on him now. Well, now's not the time to think about stupid things like that. I haven't even investigated this cottage yet. It's too early to start complaining. If we investigate that place, we might be able to find some kind of clue. Alright, let's go. Anything else on the floor? I doubt it, but... Nagito was the only one who found the password. Hopefully there's something written about his, like, the password in his room. Like I say, he's got it on a post-it note on the edge of his laptop. Nagito threatened everyone with bombs for 2 to 3 days straight. Like I said, he was a bit of a dick, you know, but blaming things that happened after his death on him, like, come on. There's other assholes here that you can blame things on. Okay, Central Bridge, where are you? Zoom. There's the hotel. Okay. Okay, Jackie and Monokuma are standing down here. Interesting. Oh, Hajime. Oh my, you want to go inside Nagito's room too? I was just listening to Chiaki's request. She wants me to unlock the door to Nagito's cottage because she really needs it for the class trial. She begged me to do it while she was licking my black eye. What the fuck is wrong with this can? I didn't do that. Then do it. It's sweet because it's made out of black bean paste. How about... No, Monokuma. We don't have time to mess around. Hurry up and unlock the damn door. Fine, fine. I guess I have no choice. I just gotta do that, right? Now then. Vava Valus. See? I've opened the door. You can freely investigate now. This isn't my first time seeing that, but why does the door open with a spell like that? I'm not 100% on this one, but I think the next game also holds back on the Viagra. I've heard the next game is slightly less horny, which is nice. Maybe the cottage key is computerized? More importantly, let's go inside now that the door is open. Yeah, you're right. Oh, there's Monomi's, like, box that she had mentioned about. So Nagito was living here. What was he thinking inside this room? Oh. I can't even imagine. Wanting to see absolute hope, becoming despair so he could act as a stepping stone for the rest of us. No matter how much I think about it, I just don't understand him at all. I don't even know if he truly believed that. He's especially weird these past few days, which is saying something for Nagito. What changed him? Maybe the clue to that might be hidden here as well. I swear to God, if Nagito has a pillow on his bed and nobody else did, I'm gonna laugh. Okay, no pillows. Is that actual Monokuma or is that a Monokuma doll? Good. We're still missing one. I guess we talk to Chiaki first, and then we can check out... The fridge and the box are definitely the more suspicious things in here. I guess we'll talk to everything, because it might have different dialogue for it being Nagito's room. Our time for investigating is winding down. I feel like she's yelling at me for chatting too much. The bookshelf might take some time to investigate, so we should try examining some other areas first. Okay, well thank you for that heads up that we should look at that one last. It's the bed that comes with the cottages. It looks just like the one in my room, but... Maybe there's something hidden under his bed. It's usually a place for hiding things. Yeah, like porn? Okay. Well, we should still check just in case. With no expectations and without thinking, I peeked under the bed and... There's something here. It's a plastic bag from the supermarket. Looks like there's something inside. Okay, actually, I take back my previous, like, skepticism and comments, and please don't open that bag. You're not gonna like what you find inside of it. What the fuck is he into? What is this? It looks like a gas mask and rubber gloves. These look like the real deal. Did he get these from the military base? Are you my mummy? He was hiding these under his bed. What did Nagito use this stuff for? I do not want to know. There are times that just not asking questions is the best thing. Hajime, was there anything else under the bed? Let's see. I peeked into the bed once again and started looking around the area where I found the supermarket bag and... There's a small piece of paper on the floor. A piece of paper? Made of blue aluminum? So is it a piece of paper then, you weirdo? Who looks at a piece of blue aluminum and is like, oh, hey, paper. A round, thin piece of aluminum, huh? I honestly wonder if this is, like, a translation issue. Because the counter for, like... So in Japanese, it's not just, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of thing. There's a second word that goes with the number that indicates the sort of thing that you're counting. So, like, there is a counter for animals, and a counter for cylindrical objects, and a counter for flat things, like a piece of paper. So I wonder if that's the translation issue here, that they said, like, what is it, like isatsu or something like that, like one flat thing, and they translated it as a piece of paper. It looks like something you close bottles with, you think so? Nat 20 on perception, nat 1 on investigation. I do not say aluminium. I think that's weird. I know that that's a UK thing. I'm very sorry if I just offended Archfey or anybody else who does do the aluminium. But in Canada, generally people tend to say aluminum. It's all of that terrible American influence on our media, because 90% of the TV and movies we watch is American. We'll spell shit the UK way, but we'll say it the American way. It's similar to those seals. Yeah, so definitely, like, the Colin, yeah, it's similar to those seals that go over jars of unopened mayonnaise. I get what you're saying, but does that mean that this is just a piece of trash? Well, it sure as fuck is not a piece of paper, Hajime. Who knows? It might be too soon to decide that. Piece of blue paper has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook. So in this case, probably related to the fire grenades, or did we see any other thing in our clues that would be good, or that this would go to? I don't know. Like, I guess it could have to do with the fire grenades, really. You know, if he, I think it's weird for him to take all of the fire grenades back to his room to tamper with them, instead of, like, gambling on the fact that maybe people wouldn't go there. Because I think that if people are looking for Nagito, they're more likely to look for him in his room than in the break room at the plushie factory. So it feels like more of a risk to me to transport all of those fire grenades here to a place where people would look for you than to tamper with them somewhere that people are less likely to go. Okay, what else? I guess the window, it's not going to be anything. Basic layout is just like my cottage. There's nothing about this window that really catches my eye. Okay. The treasure box? Yeah, I guess. A fancy-looking treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights is totally standing out. Could this be?
Can you let me know if you find my treasure? It's a magnificent treasure box covered in sparkling pink lights.
A treasure box. We are talking about the guy who played Russian roulette with only one blank. You are right. You know, he might be banking on being the ultimate lucky student and hoping that that would keep people from discovering him and his plan. Chucky, you know about this?
It's really cute.
Oh, she was just reacting. Was she, though? Was she? This looks like Monomi's stolen treasure box. If this is here, that means the thief Monomi was talking about was Nagito. But why would Nagito steal this? Look, sometimes the crow brain takes over and people just want a sparkly, shiny thing. In order to find out, it might be good to see what's inside. Is it gonna be okay? It looks a little dangerous. It might be, but this could be some kind of clue, you know? If this wasn't important, Nagito wouldn't have stolen it from Monomi in the first place. I turned back towards the treasure box and cautiously opened the lid. It's not locked? Inside, there was a notebook. I thought that was a trading card. It's just me that looks very much like a trading card. This is it? Why is a notebook inside this treasure box like it's something important? My god, it would be hilarious if this was the notebook that had all the information about the students in it. Admittedly, though, that wouldn't really make a lot of sense because that means that the box was either empty or Nagito took whatever was out of the box and put in the notebook that he got for doing the ultimate dead or the final dead room into it. I took the notebook out of the treasure box and began leafing through it. It contained sloppy drawings as if they were drawn by children and entries that looked like chicken scratch. Day 1. I was able to talk to everyone for the first time today. Monokuma showed up and things turned bad. Day 2. Byakuya is the leader. A lot of things happened today, so everyone's tired. What is this? A diary? It looks like it. Did Monomi write these? Probably. These pictures and entries totally suit her. I kept flipping through the pages. Day 3, day 4, day 5. Page after page of poorly written entries continued on in the notebook. Look, don't judge her diary entries, right? The diary is a very personal thing. I don't really understand, but it looks like there aren't any clues here. And right when I was about to give up, my hand suddenly stopped on an entry titled Day 16. Day 16. We've been in the funhouse for 3 days. Everyone's hungry and on edge. Hajime tried to go into the final dead room today. He's probably panicking because nobody believes him. Huh? Like, that didn't happen. We didn't try to go into the final dead room. Hajime, did something happen? Did we? I don't remember. We're on day 22 of this game. We only told that to one person? I think I figured out who the traitor is. Interesting. I mean, admittedly, you could also make the argument that we know that people are monitoring the camera feed, and there are cameras in every room, and there is sound with those cameras. So Monokuma, like, game 1 had so much more of the aspect of, like, don't talk in front of the cameras, and this game has not, weirdly. No, only Monokuma has the ability? That's right, Monomi stopped listening to the cameras, like, at the very beginning when she lost her magic stick. Damn. You guys know who the traitor is, and my shit memory and the fact that it's not 9 o'clock, and it's not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet, has me be like, I don't know who it is, whatever. We'll find out eventually. No, it's nothing.
Hey, stop! Don't look at my notebook.
Whoa. From out of nowhere, Monomi suddenly appeared and took the notebook out of my hand.
I did ask you to look for my treasure box, but I never said you were allowed to peek inside. Jeez, that was close. If I had come any later, he would have seen the inside of the notebook.
Maybe I think that's supposed to be part of your internal monologue, Monomi.
Unfortunately, you were a little too late. But if this notebook is here, then Nagito was the thief?
I'm not even sure if I'm right, but I think the traitor is the one who deterred us from entering. And that does make sense.
Betrayal! I was betrayed by my beloved student.
Hey, that notebook. It's pretty much your diary, right?
A diary? It seems that way. That's right. It's my important diary where all of my maiden secrets are written. Hey, you're a liar. You always show up out of nowhere.
You also show up out of nowhere. For now, let's just keep our theories about the traitor to ourselves, okay? I want to see Moggy put it together herself. Honestly, like, my brain is so fuzzy today that I feel like, you know, like Toko could show up from the first game and be like, I'm the traitor, and I'm like, okay, it makes perfect sense, whatever.
Monomi, it's not good to lie, you know.
Lie?
There's no way you wrote in that notebook. After all, Monomi can't even write.
I was gonna say, does she have thumbs? Is that what he's gonna say? Huh?
What are you saying? Jeez, I can write letters easily. I can finally write the letter B.
No, you can't, because you have no fingers on your hands. Called it. Maybe she holds the pen in her mouth. You don't know, Monokuma.
See? Bullseye. I know, because I'm the same way too. I mean, you have thumbs. Huh? Are you mad? Are you angry that I exposed a weakling like you? So what is this all about? You're seriously trying to crush me? Huh? What are you saying? There's no way a big brother would ever crush a little sister. It looks like the time to settle things between us is getting closer every second.
Hey, I don't know why you're getting so serious, but is what Monokuma said true?
Huh?
He said you didn't write in that notebook. Is that true? If so, who wrote in it?
It's, how should I put it? Excuse me.
Hold on. Damn it, she totally ran away again. The same pattern as usual. It looks like it's a waste of time to try to get answers from her. Nothing is important unless you want it to be. Exactly. But still, I really wanted to ask her about that notebook. Well, actually, it might be better that I didn't ask her. Minomi's notebook has been added. Okay, let's take a look at this fridge. Please have snacks. There's a refrigerator. I thought that was going to be the only thing it said for a second. I was like, yep, that's a fridge. Nice. My cottage doesn't even have a refrigerator. I wonder where he got it from. Nagito probably supplied it himself. Why would he go to the trouble of putting a refrigerator in his room? Does he really enjoy cold drinks? As I talked with Chiaki, I opened the refrigerator out of curiosity. There isn't really much inside. Like, Hajime, you need to learn to read faster, okay? The only thing inside the refrigerator was a brown bottle. For someone who likes cold drinks, it doesn't look like he stocked very much. Monokuma's poison. The poison for Monokuma. But that bottle clearly isn't a drink, right? It really looks like some kind of dietary supplement to me. Protein powder? Hajime, what protein powder are you seeing in a glass fucking bottle like that? I took the brown bottle out of the fridge and started reading the label. Exclusively made for poisoning someone to death. Hey, this is... Yeah, it looks like it's poison. Sorry, I'm just laughing at how fucking slow these kids are. It says it right on the label. What's in the bottle? A fair day's work, yeah. The forbidden protein powder. You can drink it, but only once. Poison? I think it's just regular water, yeah.
Huh?
It looks like there's a warning label on the back. Let's examine it in a little more detail. I'll lay it on me. What does this label say? But be careful with that bottle. Don't drop it. Stop it. If you worry like that, I'm gonna get nervous. I grabbed the bottle with my trembling hand and began reading the warning label on the back of the bottle. I don't know why you guys are so freaked out. Half the shit under your kitchen sink is poison, okay? Just don't drink it. The bottle isn't gonna hurt you. Poison made specifically for killing someone. It's Monokuma's special poison. This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, this liquid is very dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it's heavier than air and it breaks down in minutes and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight. This sure does look like a chemical made solely for poisoning someone to death. This refrigerator must be here to keep the poison secure. That question could apply to the bomb that he used at the hotel, too. Apply to the bomb? There should be a reason Nagito was able to obtain such dangerous items. Because he went through the final dead room. Yeah, the octagon inside the funhouse. This poison, he must have brought it with him from there too, right? He was probably hiding them somewhere on his body during the last class trial. He was hiding a bomb and poison during the class trial. It's like, oh, Nagito, is that poison in your pocket or are you murderous to see us? Right? I don't remember seeing a fridge, but admittedly, I was very irritated that you could tell that there was a corner around the other side in the octagon that we could not go down. So maybe it was around that corner and the game just didn't let us go look there. Jeez, how dangerous. What would he have done if he had accidentally tripped and broken the bottle? Again, it depends on how the poison is absorbed, you know? That might have done nothing. Just thinking about it scares me. Also, he already blew up the bomb he took with him at the lobby. He might have had more than one, you don't know. But what about this poison? Huh? It looks like the bottle is less than half empty. Was it like this from the beginning? Or did Nagito use it? If so, where did he use it? I wonder, is there still a trap somewhere that hasn't been sprung yet? Like, they talk about it being in, like, a gaseous state and stuff like that, and I'm wondering if this was in the fire grenades, so when they were thrown at the fire, you know, mixed with the heat from that, it then evaporated slightly, and that's technically what killed Nagito in the back. But if so, that means that he was just chilling out there with a spear in him, and, you know, he was, air quote, fine. Another trap? For example, maybe he was making some kind of trap using this poison before he died. If that actually exists, it'd be really bad. It could potentially kill everyone on this island. Everyone on the island? Or he was holding the cord of the spear and went out cold by the poison. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if, like... Yeah. There's definitely things to think about with that. What the hell? Nagito, are you still trying to make us suffer? Are you still trying to make us suffer even after you've died? Monokuma's special poison has been added to the truth bullets section. Okay, I don't think there's anything else. Oh, the bathroom actually we can interact with. Since the structure just like my room, the shower room is over here. It looks like there aren't any clues. Okay. So then the bookcase should be the last thing. There are a lot of books and other mysterious items stuffed on this shelf. The genres and the types of items are also random. I can't make any sense out of them whatsoever. They say a shelf is a mirror that reflects a person's heart. Do they now? I definitely don't know much about Nagito just by looking at this. So what should we do? It'd be really difficult to look through all these piles. That doesn't mean we should ignore it, though. I'll leave it to you then, Hajime. Wait, what? It's better if a boy goes through another boy's things. You know, there might be private stuff here. Chiaki, he's dead. Don't be lazy, okay? Well, that might be true, but... So, I'll leave this shelf to you. I mean, bitch, if you were gonna do that to begin with, then why didn't you let us explore the shelf to, like, at the beginning? We could have been looking at the shelf while you looked at everything else. I think I just got persuaded to do this without realizing it. I sighed and walked towards the shelf. One by one, I started removing the various books and items, examining each one. But even as I examined them carefully, they were still a bunch of random books and items. There's no way there's any clues here. Huh? Well, that file wasn't the only one I received from Monokuma. This is another one. That seal. Indeed. It's the school badge of Hope's Peak Academy. Does that have information about our stolen memories? Unfortunately, I couldn't find any clues about that. This file doesn't contain our information, just Hajime's information. Time to see if Nagito is a goddamn liar. I really hope that we are not in the reserve course and Nagito has been lying about this the entire time. You know, because we know that he was lying about our information being the only thing in there. But I really want to see if we're not reserve course and he was just being a dick to us for the last couple of days just for the hell of it. Pants on fire, literally. Is that really true? If I look at this, it should be obvious, right? And he said I was from the reserve department and had no talent whatsoever. That might be another one of his lies, too. I opened the file I held in my hand to confirm that. Instantly, I realized something was strange. If this really only has my information, then why is this file so thick? Yeah, I'm glad that you finally realized that, Hajime. It's like, if your information was just that you were a reserve corps student, why was the book so big? As soon as I opened it, it was clear to me. Just as I thought, Nagito had lied to me. Aside from my information, there was information about the others. Kazuichi, Fuyuhiko, Akane, and Sonia. And everyone who died had pages of information about them too. The file contained information on all 16 of us. Only my information, my ass. I can't believe he'd make up such a strange lie. So that means the rest of it might be a lie too? I turned to the page containing my information and began reading through the content. The profile contained basic information such as my date of birth, my height and weight, and so forth. But there was one thing that specifically caught my eye. The words reserve corps student. There was no denying it. It confirmed that I truly was a reserve corps student from the reserve department. Interesting. Okay, so he didn't lie about that. It would be also interesting to find out that he did have an ultimate ability, but it just wasn't good enough to get him into the main class or something. Why is this the only thing that isn't a lie? Why am I the only one here who's from the reserve department? Why am I here with all the other ultimates? Hajime, did something happen? Well, I just found a strange file. Oh. Isn't that the special prize Nagito received when he cleared the final death room? As I recall, your student profile should be in there. It's not just my profile. The profiles of everyone on this island are in here, too. Nagito was lying. When you say everyone, do you mean everyone? I was like, I can't remember who it was. It was definitely one of the girls that died. Who, like, was it? It was Mikan, who was talking about, like, you know, how she wants to be together with whoever. Like, Mikan remembered and, like, went kind of crazy. So, I would be flipping to her fucking page immediately. I want to know what Mikan knew. Yeah, it's just basic information, but there should be profiles for all 16 of us. Can I take a look at that file? Chiaki leaned against me and peered into the file. You're right. My profile really is in here. Your Honor, Nagito is lying, therefore his pants are on fire. That's why the fire in that room started. And by the end of my argument, yeah. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any details. Details? Details about our missing memories. Information about that time we spent at Hope's Peak Academy. If it's not written in there. These profiles might have been written before we entered the academy. Then, it's impossible to obtain new clues from them. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay, coffee is complete, switching to tea. Hold on. What happened? I just noticed it right now, but... The file. His name isn't in there, right? There's supposed to be 16 names worth of profiles, but his name is the only one missing, right? Because, prove me right. Who are you talking about? Oh, Byakuya. I'm talking about Byakuya Togami. Look carefully. No matter where I look, I don't see his name anywhere. I mean, you could technically make the argument that it's because he was from the previous round, and his profile was included with the students from the previous round.
What if a name isn't written in that file? Perhaps, based on that, you think he might be the traitor?
No, it's not just because his name isn't written in here. That's not the only reason I think he's suspicious. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely think that he's suspicious, but I don't think that Byakuya was the traitor. He participated in the killing school life at Hope Speak Academy, right? For someone like him to be in a similar situation on this island, no matter what, it's definitely suspicious.
Well, it pains me to say this, but what you're saying about the missing name and about the killing school life, it's totally wrong. There's a completely different reason.
A different reason?
How should I put this? You guys have been getting all worked up about that Byakuya for no reason. Which means the great mystery that you think surrounds that Byakuya doesn't exist. You're basing it on one person's cheap speculation. What do you mean? You don't have to ask me that. You'd know the answer just by looking through those profiles, right? Huh?
My eyes turned back to the file. One by one, I started flipping through the pages and confirming the names. And suddenly, I came across a page that was filled with question marks. Every section was filled with question marks. Can be barely considered a student profile. And this is the spoiler that I caught at the beginning of the game. This is the spoiler that I got when I was looking up Pekko's voice actress on IMDb. I saw that someone's voice credit was listed as Ultimate Imposter. I didn't see who it was. I have no idea who the Ultimate Imposter was, but knowing that somebody, like, from the beginning of the game is the Ultimate Imposter, I'm like, son of a bitch. I wanted this to be a surprise. Like I said, like, they're kind of insinuating here that Byakuya is not the real Byakuya and that Byakuya is the Ultimate Imposter, so I had no idea of that. Like, this is something that I'm just learning right now, so it is a surprise. I do think it would be interesting if Byakuya isn't the Ultimate Imposter, that it's still someone else. I wondered if we were the Ultimate Imposter, and that's why we're so well-rounded and we're able to, like, do so many things that really should be the purview of someone else. I also wondered if it was, like I said, if it was Kaz, because he doesn't seem to actually do anything mechanical. So I'm like, is Kaz the Ultimate Imposter? So, Among Us noises, yeah. On that page, I was only able to confirm one thing. Ultimate Imposter. Oh yeah, he did fix the elevator. And technically he did the autopsy on Mekamaru as well. Although, who knows what... Oh yeah, he did make Mini Mekamaru as well. I still think that he's the traitor. If imposter or not, I think that Kaz is the traitor. So that's what happened to that changeling I sent out to see what humans were doing. Yeah, the changeling got to the human world, had pizza, and was like, I'm never going back.
That's that Byakuya's true identity.
True identity? He was a fake that was pretending to be the ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Togami. A fake.
The fact that his profile is filled with question marks isn't a mistake or oversight. Surprisingly enough, that's the correct information regarding him. The Ultimate Imposter has no name, no permanent address, and even his age and gender is unknown.
His age being unknown feels like maybe he shouldn't be allowed to go to high school. He's actually 50. He's like, hey, fellow kids.
Basically, he doesn't exist. Because he doesn't exist, he's able to exist as anybody. That was his talent. Though I'm not jealous of that at all.
That person wasn't really Byakuya Togami? Is that why he was so much fatter compared to when he was involved in the killing school life?
His physique doesn't affect his ability to fool others at all. Real imposters are skilled like that. Then he was lying to us the whole time?
でもね、
But he couldn't help it. Why couldn't he help it? Because that was his talent. Huh? Well, having talent means that you're also bound to that talent. The moment you obtain talent, your way of life has already been chosen for you. I mean, it didn't fool me. Like, there was definitely something sketchy going on there. I was waiting for, like, the explanation as to, like, you know, Byakuya started binge eating after his trauma from the first game or something. You can't do anything else except rely on that talent. Regardless of whether you want that life or not. But it does kind of line up to, like, Leon and what he was saying.
うぷっぷ。
In that sense, compared to the other ultimates, your life might be a bit more liberating. What the hell?
とにかく、
Ahem. Anyway,
しょぼーん。
I'm not happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with. Now, with the way his personality is, he would at least have a well-tailored suit, right? Yeah. I think if wrestling has proven anything to me, that it does not matter what size or shape you are, there can be a suit that will make you look fantastic. You know, you just need money and a good tailor. You're exactly right. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Hurt Syndicate so much, or at least the ones in AEW. I'm like, damn, that is a nice suit. Like, that looks like chef's kiss. Fantastic. You guys got style. I'm not happy that you guys fell for a scam that I had nothing to do with.
そういうこと。
So I'll tell you straight up. This revolution is about Byakuya, or about Byakuya is exactly the truth. Then, what was he trying to say to me at that time? I cannot talk to others about my past. I suspect that my skeptical nature is partly to blame. Distrusting others and being distrusted in turn. For a long time, my life has been a living hell.
うーん。
Based on that context, if I had to guess,
いやいや。
maybe he was just complaining that he was cursed to wander the earth as nothing more than a fraud.
うぷっぷ。
But if you guys had your school memories, you never would have been betrayed in the first place. I mean, it'd be different if you were meeting him for the first time.
いらん。
But since you went to Hope's Peak Academy, you should have known about the ultimate imposter already. So in the end, it all leads back to memory loss.
ふぅ。
Jeez, the Future Foundation sure is awful. There's no way you should ignore Monomi or the traitor. Who is it? Who's the traitor? Do you really think that he's gonna tell you, Hajime? Just from looking at these 16 profiles, I still wouldn't know who's from the Future Foundation. Is there really someone like that?
当たり前じゃん。
Well, obviously you wouldn't know. I made that file so you guys couldn't find out.
まさか。
So it's just as I thought. You're the one who did it.
あのね。
The fact that there are 16 profiles in there is what's wrong.
はん。
I mean, the traitor is a spy sent by the Future Foundation, not a student from Hope's Peak Academy. You made a fake profile for the traitor and included it in here?
正解。
It wouldn't be fun if you figured out who the traitor was so easily, right?
ねえねえ。
Then we can't use this file to figure out who the traitor is. That was true for Nagito too, right?
と。
Well, probably. Hope's Peak Academy file has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
ぷぷぷぷぷ。
It's dripping with despair, isn't it? You wasted your precious time on something that isn't a clue.
本当にいいのかな。
Was that a wise decision? Time's up, you know. Time's up. Wait.
さよなら。
Excuse me for a moment. That chime just now.
生物にとって最も大切なものとは何か。
What is most important for living things?
あのね、 僕は時間じゃないかと思うんだ。
What is a man? Just a miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you. Well, personally, I think time is.
ほら、預金通帳は減ったり増えたりするけど、時間は常に減っていく一方でしょ。
I mean, your bank account may go up and down, but time will inevitably run out, right?
Your bank account sometimes can help buy you more time.
だから僕らは時間を大切にしないといけないんだ。時間の無駄遣いほどもったいない行為はないからね。
That's why we gotta cherish time. There is nothing more wasteful than wasting time.
というわけで、時間です。
So, time's up.
最後の学級裁判を始めるので、モノクマロックに集合してください。
We will begin the last class trial, so please gather at Monokuma Rock.
ぷぷぷぷ。じゃあまた後でね。
I'll see you soon.
The last class trial? He said that, right? He said last class trial.
Yeah, I heard it too. He really did say it was the last class trial.
What do you think? Should we believe him? Monokuma seemed anxious about the Monokuma timer earlier, right?
2 more days?
And he said something about the killing school trip ending, right? Based on the time limit, this might definitely be the last one.
でもね。
But I can't imagine that it's the real end. Huh? I think Monokuma's real plan might be just beyond that. His real plan? Is Monokuma still planning to make us do something? What could it be? Maybe after putting us through all of this, he's planning to kill the remaining survivors all at once?
あのね。
But still, it's also not a good idea to think about it too much, I think. Oh, I think we should focus on the class trial that's waiting for us first. You're right. The class trial for Nagito's murder. Also, we're pretty screwed. I haven't collected my thoughts because we were so focused on this file. I still can't see who killed Nagito.
でもね。
Just you don't have to worry so much. Huh?
ね?
I mean, we're not fighting this alone, you know? You're right. You're absolutely right. We're not alone. Even if it's a mystery that can't be solved alone, as long as everyone cooperates and works together. Yeah, if we do that, things will turn out fine. Makoto is the killer, oh my god. So, oh right, we're supposed to go to Monokuma Rock now. Like, where the fuck are we supposed to go now? Is there anybody chilling anywhere that we need to talk to? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, I think they're all just not on the map, that they're just gonna be at Monokuma Rock. Yeah, okay. You do have special connections in the media? Nice. Here we go, Monokuma Rock. Not the good kind, it's the dark side. Oh, I see. That looks like everyone's here. Huh? Is this it? Shouldn't there be more people? Kaz, have you not been paying attention? This is really something that you should, like, keep track of. Stop it. You're making me depressed. You're making me depressed. So, it is going to happen again. The cruel conflict where we must doubt our friends. But once we're through with this, we can go back, right? I mean, that is an assumption that you've all made. That Monokuma bastard said so, didn't he? He said this is the last class trial. Yes, but that could mean that you're all going to die after this, you know? But we've been tricked every step of the way. There's no way I can believe that so easily. Why can't you believe it? The guy who's making us do all of this is the one saying it, you know? That's why. I'll definitely survive. That was actually kind of creepy. Like, that voice actor did a really good job on that line. You know, Kaz is so over the top, so whiny, so, like, you know... So having just a very seriously delivered line there, it sent a little chill down my spine. You know, I've been getting good at drawing lately, but I'm more used to drawing women than dudes, so... I mean, some people do specialize in that. There's lots of artists that I follow who basically only draw women. Or only draw dudes. If we can really go home after we deal with this class trial, I'll definitely find out who the killer is, no matter what. Even if I have to pull out all the stops. What the fuck? Why are you here?
You haven't realized it yet? That feeling of wanting to leave this island. Thinking like that is Monokuma's trap, you know?
Huh?
What are you saying?
There's no way Monokuma will end things here. He's planning something far worse.
Stop trying to jinx us. Damn right. Stupid rabbits should shut up. Stupid rabbits need the most attention.
Everyone, you mustn't run away from despair.
Huh?
I have finally realized, after losing my powers, I've realized that cursing your powerlessness or your fate accomplishes nothing. The possibility may be small, but as long as there's a possibility, you must face it.
I feel like Monomi's talking about the lottery like we were earlier.
You have a chance to win $70 million. It doesn't matter how low the chance is. If you don't play, you don't get it at all. In order to become someone who can be proud of yourself. So I will fight.
Huh? What's her deal?
I do not really know, but she seems different from before.
Maybe she read a self-help book. But her eyes... She looked so determined. What can you tell just by looking at those button eyes? Anyway, make sure you turn off Minimaru. It'd be annoying if he started talking during the trial. Oh, fine.
Somehow, I understand what Monomi is saying, I think. Anyway, let's get going. The last class trial.
You're right. We need to fight as much as we can. No matter what hopeless truth awaits us in the end.
Roar!
This is the end. I kept saying those words to myself over and over within my mind. I entered Monokuma Rock. This elevator ride. This is the last time we'll do that for this too, right? I hope so. Let's worry about things after we're finished. More importantly, we must focus on the class trial before us. I like how Akane is standing like squarely right in front of the door. It's very on brand for her. The killer managed to kill someone like Nagito. There's no way this is gonna go smoothly. I mean, I still can't believe one of us was able to do that. Nagito was problematic in many ways, but he was also a valuable asset during the trials. Yeah, you're right. In fact, during the Funhouse ordeal, we were completely dependent on him. But even if he's gone, the ones who survived need to stand and fight. We must fight. And then the door slowly opened. This bright light greeting us, is that the light of hope or the light of despair?
Well then, now that the chatterbox Nagito is gone, there are only 6 of you left.
Enough! Just fucking start this already. Hey, this is it, right? This is really the last class trial, right?
Yep, it sure is. So you gotta show some enthusiasm and make sure you give it your all.
Didn't I tell you? He said it. This is the end. Yeah, but Kazuichi, the end can mean a lot of things. That doesn't mean you're going home.
Now then, let's get this trial started. This is the last class trial. Let's show some enthusiasm and kill each other.
This is the 5th class trial. According to Monokuma, this is also the last class trial. That curtain is about to rise. Nagito Komaeda, the ultimate lucky student. When I first met him, I thought he was a nice guy. He came across as very sociable. But his true nature held such a demented thought process that was nothing like his outward appearance. He said he believed in hope more than anything else. He said he was yearning for a powerful hope that could overcome any despair. He said he would even help despair just to prove that hope would never lose to despair. And he said he'd become a stepping stone for hope. His way of thinking was completely screwed up. But there were also times he saved us, too. Someone like him was killed. That was the end of him. And I have no idea at all who did it, but there's no way this can end without knowing. We will be consumed by despair. That's why we absolutely have to find out. The person who finished off Nagito, the killer who murdered Nagito. In order to return from this despair alive, we need to reach the truth. And if Monokuma says that this is really the last class trial, that's all the more reason we need to do this. And so, this life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair, the last one, has begun. Yes, save my progress. Let's do the increased turning power for logic dive, because I was getting really frustrated with that one in the last game. There. Okay. Proceed with the class trial. Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of something that we've done 4 times before. Yeah. Yeah, so he specifically said, okay. So he did say that the person will leave or earn the right to leave the island. Monomi is pissy about this. Oh my, Monomi? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit? Chesto! Oh, one more time. Geez, how about this one? Sorry, just fucking around with my headphones again. This will be my final blow. It's useless. Please stop. I feel bad for Monomi. You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monomi. The class trial has started, after all.
今回の犠牲者はみんなのために裏切り者を暴こうとしていた狛枝くんだったわけですが。
The victim this time is Nagito, who was attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake.
一体誰が彼を殺したのでしょうかね。超気になる。
Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
裏切り者を暴こうとしていたあいつが殺されたってことは。
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor.
やっぱその裏切り者が犯人だろう。そいつが口封じのために狛枝を殺したんだ。
That traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
いや、そうとは限らねえぞ。
No, that might not be it. I mean, I would say it's a fair assumption until you have proof otherwise.
裏切り者をかばうってのか？俺らの危機に名乗り出なかったようなやつだぞ。
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger.
まさかてめえが裏切り者じゃねえだろうな。
Wait, don't tell me you're the traitor. Yeah, how do you like the accusations being thrown your way, Kaz?
破壊ってんじゃねえよ。そんなわけねえだろ。
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell that I'm the traitor.
ぷぷぷ、そんな感じでさっさと議論を始めちゃってちょうだいな。
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already? The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or... Okay, we gotta make an argument. I'm not sure which one is going to be the correct truth bullet, so we'll just see what the options are first. The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him. The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds. It's because the killer tortured Nagito. So that's why he was so beat up. What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first. That was Fuyuhiko. I found it by coincidence. There's no way I'd torture someone. I mean, you are in the Yakuza. You are in the Yakuza. Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place? Torture wounds, survival knife, duct tape. Okay. Both of Nagito's legs were tied with rope, and each rope was tied to nearby pillars, which prevented him from moving. His thighs were also covered with a lot of stab wounds. I already can't remember what some of the things were. Fuck. Torture wounds, survival knife, duct tape. A knife, survival knife that was stabbed into Nagito's right hand. The knife is from the military base. It's safe to assume that the wounds on Nagito's legs and left arm were caused by this knife. Nagito's mouth is covered with duct tape. However, the blood that splattered onto his face wasn't under the duct tape. The tape itself had a lot of crinkles in it, as if Nagito was desperately moving his mouth underneath it. Okay, Monokuma plushie, Monokuma panels, oil lighter. A life-size Monokuma plushie that was found on the floor near the fire's origin point. Has a huge bloody hole in its stomach as if it was stabbed. A lot of tipped-over Monokuma panels were scattered around the goods warehouse. In one area, the panels seemed to be laying on top of each other in a straight, orderly line. Found at the fire's origin point, it looks like this is what caused the fire. Monokuma's account is the last one. Monokuma knew that all along the bombs were fake, however he apparently never revealed that fact to anyone. It feels like it could be important for this. Let's see those options again. Bomb's hiding place. If so, the suspect is whoever found the bombs first. Okay, why did the killer have to torture Nagito? Were the wounds on his body really caused by torture in the first place?
Tortured Nagito. That's an argument.
拷問して何を吐かせよう。爆弾の隠し場所ですよ。
Bomb's hiding place.
最初に爆弾を
Whoever found the bomb first. By coincidence. I don't feel like any of these things have anything to do with those. This trial is not starting off well. Because most of the evidence that we have supports torture. So the thing about torture in this is an argument. It's not a confirmation. We could have to Schlorp. Let's take a look at it again with the idea of Schlorping, which for those of you who are not familiar with this channel, that is what we call when you suck up one of the dialogue options and then shoot that at something else. Okay, tortured Nagito. Bomb's hiding place. Whoever found the bomb first. By coincidence. Maybe those wounds were several days old. That didn't come up at all, I don't think. Also, we saw him within the last, like, 24 hours, I'm pretty sure. Were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place? Oh, just a joke. Okay, gotcha. I don't know, do we do by coincidence and shoot it against whoever found the bomb first? That kind of makes sense. We can try it. We can't suck up agreements, god damn it. Fuck, this one, like, it's the first one. None of these seem to have anything to do with it. If people have ideas, you're welcome to chime in already. This is, like, holy shit. And do we shoot? God damn it. God damn it. Oh. Oh, fuck. God damn it, I should have slowed it down there. Let me try this one and then we'll go over the bullets again. Okay, so that's not it. Okay, so the bullets we have are torture. Let's try to go through here. Torture wounds, which I was hoping that maybe by firing it against the torture thing that we could discuss the fact that it wasn't necessarily torture. We have duct tape, which doesn't have any blood under the duct tape, and he was obviously alive when it was put on there because you could see that his mouth was moving underneath it. I mean, technically, maybe duct tape against something to say that, like, it was trying to shut him up. The Monokuma plushie with its bloody hole in the stomach. The Monokuma panels, which are tipped over in a straight orderly line. I believe that they were against, like, leaning against the door. and we knock them over. The oil lighter, which caused the fire. Monokuma's account that the bombs were fake and he knew that, but he never told it to anyone. And I think we're missing one. What was the other one? Oh, the survival knife. Which was stabbed into his hand. That the wounds on his arms and legs were caused by that knife.
狛枝さんの死体が傷だらけなんだ。
犯人が狛枝を拷問した。
それであんなに痛めつけられ、拷問して何を吐かせ、爆弾の隠し場所ですよ。
Oh, it's that they can't be, but that's an agreement. I feel like that should be an argument that why were they torturing him to try to find out the bomb's hiding place if he had duct tape across his mouth? He wouldn't be able to say anything to them. Whoever found the bomb first. It was by coincidence. We can't do it though. I mean, I guess we can try duct tape against torture. Oh wait, I was on it, damn it.
狛枝さんの死体が傷だらけなんだ。
犯人が狛枝を拷問したからです。
Okay, that was it.
それは違うぞ。
We logicked it. We figured it out.
でも、狛枝の口はガムテープで塞がれて、声を出せる状態じゃなかったんだぞ。
But wouldn't you put duct tape over their mouth while torturing him and then remove it when done and ask? Technically, yeah, you could do it that way, but also I think that with people who aren't skilled at torture, there's the chance that you might accidentally kill them and get nothing out of them if you don't let them speak while you're torturing them. Okay. But with Nagito's mouth covered with duct tape, he wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
何かを聞き出すために拷問したなら、そんな風に口を塞がれてたりしないはずだ。
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
俺が整備してやるぜ。
Nope, time for the knife fight.
いや、俺は気づいちまったぜ。
Oh, I just realized.
トラップだ。
It's a trap.
トラップ？
Trap.
おめえはトラップに引っかかったんだよ。ノータリンひなたちゃんよ。
Stupid Hajime, you got caught in that trap. Stupid. Okay, we slash everything, and then we gotta find what the argument is, and then we can figure out what to use against it.
確かに狛枝の口が塞が満足に喋れねえ。でもそれがトラップだったんだ。何かを聞き出したと悟らせねえためのな。
でも口を塞いだら。
Okay, but if you tape his mouth shut,
本当に何も
how
聞
is
き
he
出すこ
supposed
と
to
ができ
answer
ないぞ。
anything?
いいか、真相はこうだ。まず犯人は狛枝を拷問し、爆弾の情報を。
Bomb's location after they killed him.
そう。
Okay, so now we need to see burned rope, survival night. You'd obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But that was the trap.
そう。
I can't. Oh, fuck, I have to do the first part again?
満足に喋れねえ。でもそれがトラップだった。何かを聞き出したと悟らせねえためのな。
でも口を塞いだら。 本当に何も聞き出すことができ
Okay,
な
but
い
if you
ぞ。
tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything? Pay attention, this is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location, and then after they killed him... Okay, it's the duct tape here as well. Because there's no blood underneath the duct tape.
確かに狛枝の口が満足に喋れねえと。でもそれがトラップだった。何かを聞き出したと悟らせねえためのな。
でも口を塞いだら本当に何も聞き出すことができないぞ。
いいか、真相はこう。まず犯人は狛枝を爆弾の情報を聞き出した。
No!
しまった。
Okay.
真相はこうだ。まず犯人は
First, the killer tortured Nagito at the bomb's location.
ぶっ殺した後に。
There we go.
その言葉切らせてもらう。
There's no blood in dead. See what I do there? Yeah, I see what
ガム
you
テ
did
ープ
there.
が貼られたのは間違いなく狛枝が痛めつけられる前なんだ。
There's no doubt about that Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was beat up.
なんだと
What did you say?
もうガムテープの話なんていいって。いっそのことじゃんけんで決めちまえ。
Who cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors. Akane, you will die if we don't get this right.
じゃんけんに頼るまでもなく、ガムテープは拷問の前に貼られたもので決定だよ。
We don't need to play a game. It's clear that the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
なんで日向の肩ばっか持つんだよ。あいつのことが好きなのかよ。
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something? It's because Hajime is the only motherfucker in this entire game who is doing what he's supposed to do. Okay? Are you in elementary school or something?
私が狛枝くんの口からガムテープを剥がした時、ソーダくんも一緒にいたよね。
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off of Nagito's mouth, right?
ほら、狛枝くんの顔の血痕ってガムテープの下にはついてなかったでしょ？
The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
狛枝の顔の血痕はあいつの腕の傷から飛んだものだった。
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds.
つまりあのガムテープはあいつが腕を傷つけられる前から貼られてたってことだ。
Which means that the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
それに、あのガムテープって口の内側に向かってシワがたくさんできてたよ。
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth.
きっと彼はガムテープの下で必死に口を動かしてたんじゃないかな。
He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
むしろあのガムテープは叫び声を上げさせねえためのものか。
Perhaps the duct tape was used so he wouldn't be able to scream.
ってことはやっぱ俺が最初に言った通りだろ。拷問じゃなくて口封じが目的だったんだろ。
Then it's like what I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture, it was to keep his mouth shut.
ですが目的が口封じならあそこまで必要に痛めつける必要はないと思います。
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
きっとよっぽど狛枝が憎かったんだろう。
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
では犯人はただ苦しませるためだけにあそこまでのことをしたとおっしゃるのですか？
Then, are you saying that the killer was trying to make him suffer?
だとしたら正気の沙汰じゃねえな。そいつは狂っちまってんじゃねえのか？
If that's so, that's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
いや、ただ狂ってるだけじゃねえ。それに加えてかなり狡猾な野郎だぞ。
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard. But not in the hot glue gun sort of crafty that 42nd is doing.
そうでなきゃ現場に放火して丸ごと証拠隠滅させるなんて真似はできっこね。
If not, they wouldn't have taken all the time to set fire, or they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
倉庫の火事って証拠隠滅のためだったのか？
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
それ以外に考えらんねえだろ。
We can't think of any other reason.
ただ問題はそれをどなたがやったかです。
But who could have done that?
あの火事があった時はここにいる全員が倉庫の前に揃っていました。
When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse.
ああ。そんで俺が倉庫の扉を開けた直後に奥から火が上がったんだもんな。
Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back.
つまりここにいる誰かが放火したとは考えられないはずなのですが。
Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire. I did, in fact, immediately start playing with it. Of course, of course.
犯人は俺ら以外にいる。なわけねえよな。今更って感じだもんな。
The killer isn't one of us, but that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
偶然にしたってタイミングが良すぎるしな。
Even if it was only coincidence, the timing was just too perfect. Perfect.
今までのパターンからすると
Based on the pattern up until
こ
now,
こに何らかの仕掛けが使われていると考えるべきかもしれませんね。
we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
何らかの仕掛けってなんだよ。
Some kind of setup. Like what?
それはわかりませんが でも今までは大体そうだったじゃないですか。
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
さすがはソニアさん、凄まじく高い学習能力を誇ってらっしゃる。
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Kaz, she is not into you. Stop it.
よっしゃ、ソニアさんの意見をもとに考えてみようぜ。それでいいですよね、ソニアさん。
Okay. Alrighty then, let's think about what this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
学園承知の助です。
Damn right it is.
Oh, the reason for the fire, huh? They're right. We need to clear that up first.
的なきっかけは現場にあったオイルライターですよ
Okay,
ね。
the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
犯人は何らかの仕
The
掛けを
killer
使
used
っ
some
て
kind of setup
ライターからカーテンに
and
火を
lit the
つけて
curtain on fire with the lighter.
何らかの仕掛けって
Some kind of setup?
オイルを導火線
Did
代わ
they
りに
use
した
the
のか
oil
な
as an improvised fuse?
単純にライターを投げただけ
They
だろ
probably just threw the lighter. No, that's not.
あの形状のオイ
Based
ル
on
ラ
the
イター
shape
な
of
ら
that oil lighter,
火をつけたまま立たせら
it
れ
can
ますよ
stand
ね。
upright while the flame is lit.
何らかの方法でライ
If
タ
they
ーを
tipped
倒
over
せ
the
ば
lighter in some way,
カーテンに引火する
it
か
could
も
have
しれませ
ignited
ん
the curtain.
何らかの方法って
Some way.
見えない糸を使ったとか
Maybe they used invisible thread. I know what this is
音の
gonna
振
be.
動で倒す方法だってあ
There
るは
would
ず
have,
だ。
there should have been a way to tip it
も
over
し
with
くは
sound
扉が
waves,
開いたきっかけで
or perhaps opening the door
激しい風圧
caused
がライターを倒したの
intense
で
wind
す。
pressure. Okay, we need the stack of Monokuma stuff because that when we opened the door, in a domino effect, we knocked over this Monokuma standees, and I'm thinking that's what hit the lighter.
あ
Not
の
the
火
duct
事の
tape,
直接的
not the
なきっか
plushie,
け
the
は
panels.
現場にあったオイルライターですよね。
Okay, so we
犯
want
人は何
this
らかの仕掛けライ
for
ターからカーテンに火を
何らかの仕掛けって
agreeing
導火線
with
代わりに
単純にライターを投げただけだろ
あの形状のオイル火をつけたまま立たせられます。
何らかの方法カーテンに引火するかもしれない。
何らかの方法って
見えない糸を使っ
not invisible thread,
音の振動で倒す方法だってあるはずだ。
not sound
もしく
waves.
は扉が開いたきっかけで
I
激し
missed
い
it,
風
god
圧
damn
が
it.
ライターを倒したのです。
Gotta slow it down.
あの火事の直接現場にあった
犯人はライターから
何らかの仕掛け
オイルを導
単純にライターを
あの火をつけたまま
何らかのカーテンに引火
何らかの方
見えない糸を
Invisible thread, tip it over
も
with
しくは
sound waves.
扉が開いたきっかけで
There we go.
それに賛成だ扉が開いたことがきっかけになったって意見には俺も賛成だ
I also agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
やはり風圧ですね。ジャパニーズかまいたちですね。
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure, a dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
いや風圧じゃなくてきっとモノクマのパネルを使ったんだ
No, not the wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
現場にモノクマのパネルが大量に倒れてただろ
A huge number of tipped over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right?
あれは無造作に倒れてるように見えたけど一列だけ綺麗に折り重なるようにして倒れてたんだ
It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were lying on top of each other in a single line.
倉庫の扉から火元までの一列だけがな
It's just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
それに何か意味があったのか
Does that mean anything? I'm still concerned about this because we guessed that the Monokuma panels were put up against the door and it like dominoed over like right at the very beginning. But how could somebody put them up against the door like that if they and then leave through that door? There doesn't seem to be an additional way out of this building, which was when I'm like, did Nagito do this? Like, how did that happen? Yeah, but Nagito was also like, how does he do that? And then tie himself up and stab a knife through his hand. Like, you could argue that maybe there's things, especially with the bloody hand or the non-bloody handprint on the cord for that spear. Like, are they saying that it was looped over like some sort of I-beam or girder in the ceiling and that he was holding it while he was stabbing himself to make blood splatter on it and then he let it go so that way it dropped down into his own stomach? Like you could make that argument, you could say that sort of thing, but then how the fuck did he manage to tie 3 of his own limbs, 2 I can believe, 3 is very difficult, and then stab the knife through his own hand. Like, you know, some of this I can see that this was set up, that Nagito could have done this to himself, but really the knife and the ropes holding him down is where I'm kind of like, this doesn't seem possible. That's what the evidence tells us so far, I think. I think you've just hit the nail on the head. Like I said, parts of it, yes, but parts of it I'm very skeptical about.
きっと犯人はあのモノクマのパネルを利用してドミノ倒しの仕掛けを作ったんだ。
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
ドミノ倒しって並べた牌をパタパタと倒して遊ぶあれのことだよな。
A domino effect? You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
犯人はその牌の代わりにモノクマのパネルを使ったんだよ。
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. Gonna try to make
私
it.
たちが倉庫の扉を開けると、扉に押された最初のパネルが倒れて、
So when we opened up the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the
そこ
second.
からパネルがドミノ式に倒れていって、最後にライターからカーテンに引火する仕掛けだね。
And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
けどあんな大きなパネルが倒れてったらさすがに誰か気づくんじゃねえか？
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
気づいてほしくないからこそグッズ倉庫の照明を消してたんだろうな。
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
あの倉庫が暗かったのって俺たちからドミノ倒しの仕掛けを隠すためだったのか。
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
それともう一つ、犯人がドミノ倒しを隠すためにやったことがあったよね。
And one more thing. There was something else that the killer did to hide the domino effect, right? The killer did one other thing to hide the domino effect. Of course, you give me a timed thing while I have a cup of tea in my hand. What else? Yeah, the blood on the girder there too. Definitely the bloody rope was kind of like over that. Oh yeah, the music. That's a good idea. Yeah, the sound of it was blocked by that.
そうか。それってあの MP3 プレイヤーのことだな。
You're talking about the MP3 player, right?
倉庫で鳴り響いてたあの賛美歌はパネルが倒れていく音を隠すためのものだったんだろう。
That hymn blaring through the warehouse masked the sound of falling panels. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Hey, do you guys hear something? Like over the music. Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? No, I'm not talking about the music. As if on cue, it suddenly started.
そうか。俺が気になった音ってパネルが倒れていく音だったんだな。
No, we made a lot of Sephiroth jokes when this was happening last stream. It was very appropriate for it. That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
でも、尾張さんが違和感を抱いたのってあの音だけじゃないよね。
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right?
今振り返ると、倉庫の扉を開けた時もだよね。
Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse. It's fine. I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. That's criminal. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Huh? It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Okay. And didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protests, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Bam.
ああ、
Oh.
あの時扉につっかえてたのがモノクマのパネルだったのか。
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
そこで扉を開けたことによってドミノ倒しが始まり、倒れていったパネルが最終的にはライターを倒して。
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
そうやってグッズ倉庫が火事になったはずなんだけど。
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught fire. At least, that's how it looks.
なんか浮かねえ顔だな。
You don't sound so sure.
あの時尾張さんは言ってたよね。扉が少ししか開かないって。
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
パネルがつっかえてたせいだろ。
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
あの時の隙間ってさ、とても人とかが出入りできる隙間じゃなかったよね。
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
それが何か問題なのか？
Is that a problem? This is why Chiaki is best girl, because she has noticed the issue that you can't lean the panels up against the door and then get out again.
大問題だよ。だってグッズ倉庫の出入り口ってあそこだけなんだし。
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse... I see. So the problem Chiaki's talking about is the killer couldn't have left.
そうか。扉が少ししか開かないくらいパネルを密着させておいたら。
If the panel was so close to the door that it could be barely opened,
中にいた犯人も外に出られなくなるよな。
the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
そういやそうだ。
Now that you mention it.
じゃあ中に隠れてたんじゃねえか。
Does that mean they were hiding inside? No, it doesn't, Akane, because again, we were all outside.
誰がだ？俺らは全員倉庫の外にいたんだぞ。
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know?
今までのパターンからすると、ここに何らかの仕掛けが使われていると。
And based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
Which is kind of BS. Yeah. Is there no chance the warehouse had like a window or something? According to them, they've looked and there's no windows, no other points of egress other than the front door. Which does seem like a health and safety issue. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, you need to get some OSHA going on here. That does not seem like the safest thing. Those panels were really big. The killer could have just held the panel with one hand and placed it after. Like, I think it would be very, very difficult to have all of the panels leaning against the door and have the leverage of like holding them up and scooch through the door and like reaching like with your elbow type thing. Like it seems like it would be very, very difficult to do. Not necessarily impossible, but very difficult to do. A fire hazard for real, right?
難しく考えなくても、実はそれが可能な人は一人だけいるんだけどね。
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Huh?
それって。
You don't mean... But if that's true, this murder...
ひなたさん、それはどなたのことですか？
Hajime? What do you mean?
Yeah, difficult but not impossible, exactly.
The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that.
We have no clue how long Nagito was there before us. We do know that somebody had to get the spear between when we were looking at Nezumi House or Nezumi Castle and the rest of the and when we discovered Nagito dead there. So like there was only like admittedly I don't know exactly how long it was supposed to be because they don't show us the time constantly in this, but it felt like it was short, like only half an hour. We all split up to look for the bomb, and it was during that period of time, but the bombs were supposed to explode at noon, and we still had time to get there and talk about it and stuff like that, you know? So it definitely seemed like a fairly short time frame. Yeah, the only person who could have done that is Nagito. Where is he? There we go.
これが俺の答えだ。狛枝だったとしたらどうだ？
That was the next day? No, it wasn't. It was the same day. We went to Nezumi Castle like that morning, that the bomb was going to happen and saw the thing on the floor and the spears the same day.
なんで狛枝の名前が出てくんだよ。あいつは被害者なんだぞ。
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
彼はただの被害者じゃなかったのかもしれない。
He wasn't just the victim, maybe.
は？
Huh? Oh, yeah, we do have to see if Gundam and Nagito have a unique X. And Mekamaru. Oh.
ただの被害者じゃねえってどういう意味だよ。
Not just the victim. What does that mean?
狛枝くんは被害者であると同時に加害者だった
So,
かもしれない。
Mekamaru definitely has a unique X. It appears to be like a whistle for like sports on like a lanyard. It's right beside Chiaki, but it zoomed in too fast before I could point it out. He was the victim, and he was the perpetrator too. Maybe.
自殺ってことか？バカ言ってんじゃねえよ。
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
てめえは忘れたのか？あいつが全身をめちゃくちゃに痛めつけられてたのをよ。
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
あれが全部自作自演だったのかよ。
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
でも狛枝くんだったらやりかねないよね。
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
そういう問題じゃねえよ。あいつは縛られてたんだぞ。
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember?
いくら狛枝ほどの変態だって自分の両手両足を全部縛るなんて不可能だろう。
Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs, as he is a masochist. Like, the tying thing to me is the biggest sticking point here, so I'm interested to see how they resolve this.
そうだね。
Yeah, you're right.
おう、分かったならいいけどよ。
As long as you understand.
狛枝くんが自分を縛った方法については話し合う必要がありそうだね。
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
話し合う必要だ。
Need to discuss?
そんな必要あるか。どう考えたって不可能じゃねえかよ。
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible. Like you said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but... Okay. Oh, that's a very dramatic... It feels like X 1999. Like, it's a very dramatic X on Gundam's face there. I feel like I'm overlooking something. We're just gonna leave it on this while it slowly cycles around so we can see the other X's. It is drippy. Huh. Maybe it's supposed to represent the poison or something? Come on, show us Mekamaru. You see the whistle on the bottom right, like the bottom right corner of it, and you can see the whistle there. You can tie it pretty easily with one hand with rope, as long as the rope isn't tight or almost running out. I feel like at least the way that it was pictured. Because let's see if we can truth bullets. It's not really like zoomed in, but see the way that it's like wrapped around like multiple times and stuff. I feel like it would be very hard to do one-handed. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the answer is. I feel like I'm overlooking something. Probably the burned rope, I'm gonna say, is maybe what we're overlooking. To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible.
両足だけならともかく
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible. You couldn't do much with the free arm. It'd be impossible if you were by yourself. How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail, Akane. Dirty joke. Is that a dirty joke? If our assumptions that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. That's okay, right?
自分の両手両足を縛るなんて
I think it might be tie your own arms and legs, but with the burned rope, because he didn't. One arm technically was free from the rope.
さすがに両手は無理ですよね。
最後に残っ
少なくとも自分一人
歯を使えばいけ。それか。
下ネタかよ、下ネタなのかよ。
Yeah, I don't really want to think about people with prehensile junk like that. That's no, thank you. Okay, let's try
自分
burn.
の両手両足を縛るなんて
Fuck.
不可能
God
に決
damn
ま
it.
ってんだろうが
Pressed all the wrong
両
buttons
足だ
there.
けならとさすがに両手。
最後に残っ
少なくとも
歯を使えば。それか。
下ネタかよ、下ネタなのかよ。
Okay,
自分の両手両足を縛るなんて
there we go.
それは違うよ。
Can we clip prehensile junk? I mean, if you really want to, I'd prefer not.
その前提自体が間違ってるんじゃないか。
This is why I say certain things extraordinarily flatly when it comes up in the text here. I'm afraid of getting clipped saying something very lewd. Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
何がだよだってあいつは間違いなく両手両足を
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
いや、両手両足じゃなかったはずだ。
No, and it shouldn't have been both of his arms.
右手のロープはすっかり燃えていた。あれだと縛られてたとは言えないはずだ。
The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
あれは火事のせいで焼けただけだろうその前までは縛られてたはずだ
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then. However, we did note that nothing else was burned near him. The fire didn't seem to reach him.
火事のせいで焼けた。確かにそう見えなくもないけど。
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that,
あれはそう見えるように仕向けられた罠なんだ。
but that was
そ
part of
れ
the
を
trap.
示す確かな根拠だってあるんだ。
There's concrete evidence that proves it. The proof that the burnt rope on Nagita's right arm is a trap is his right sleeve. His sleeve wasn't burnt, so if the rope was burnt, the sleeve should have been.
そうか。あいつの右腕の袖の部分に注目してほしいんだ。
Take a close look at his right sleeve.
ロープがあれだけ燃えているにもかかわらず、あいつの袖は全く燃えてなかったよな。
Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burnt at all. Wouldn't you agree?
こんな燃え方、どう考えたって不自然だろ。
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural.
と、あのロープはあらかじめ焼き切られてたんだ。
That rope
あ
was
たかも火事で焼けたと見せかけるためにな。
burned in advance, so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
じゃあ、駒枝くんの右腕は縛られてなかったんだね。
Then
自
Nagita's
由に動かせたんだね。
Then Nagita's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right? Except for that knife pinning it to the floor.
ああ、そのはずだ。
Yeah, that should be the case.
ひなた、すげえじゃねえかよ。俺の胸くらいなら触らせてやってもいいぞ。
Hajime, that's awesome. I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
おわりさん、そんな風に自分を安売りしてはいけません。
あ
ちゃん
かね
とお金をもらわないと。
You should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first. Oh, ladies. I mean, like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's fine. Like, sex work is work. But still, you're 16. This is inappropriate.
いややっぱおかしいぞ
That's definitely wrong.
わー
Coming from the Yakuza.
触らせる前に諭吉をもらえばいいんだろ。
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before... Oh my fucking god. Akane, you need a non-sexual hug and some fucking therapy.
そうじゃねえお前だの自作自演の話だ
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito.
だってよ右手のロープがなかったとしてもその右手にはナイフが突き刺さってたんだぞ
I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
右手で右手にナイフを刺すのは無理。ああ、そりゃそうだな。
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. That much is obvious. I mean, like, do we know for sure that the knife was stabbed into the ground and not just stabbed into his hand? Because he could have held the knife with his left hand and brought his right hand down onto it to stab it, and then moved his right arm back to have it be in position. I wonder, can we check? Does it have that info? Survival knife that stabbed into Nagito's right hand. It doesn't say anything about it being into the ground, but like the illustration makes it look like it would go through his hand into the ground. But of course, we have seen before where things in the illustration don't make sense. Even the fact that they say that the spear is stabbed into Nagito's chest when it is extremely obvious that it's stabbed into his stomach. Yeah. Oh, it says stomach here. Interesting. It said chest in the dialogue when we were investigating it. He used the plushie and then slammed his hand into it. Oh, that's something I didn't think about. I don't know, like, you mean that he put like a hole in the plushie to hold the knife and then stabbed his hand, like slammed his hand down onto that. Okay. I could see that. Maybe they said torso and it's just a mistranslation. I think the Japanese is a general word for trunk that they might have used here. Yeah. It could be. The word I tend to know for stomach is onaka. Which is more of just like the center. Or, you know. Yeah. Okay. Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin. I just love the fact that these Japanese students are talking about, like, American money. It tends to refer to the organ and not the external part. Got it. Yeah. Sometimes Duolingo misses context. That would be helpful. Like, I was finding it very frustrating when it was using shashin for picture and... God, what is art? Is it just A? Like, it was using picture for both of them, and I'm like, no, one of them is a photograph and one of them is a drawing. You can't just use the word picture for both of them. You have to be specific. Yeah. So it's really frustrating when Duolingo was like, nope, that's wrong. I'm like, fucking give context. Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck? Hold on. There should be a way. Then hurry up and spill it. If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest. A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hand. It's okay, there's definitely an answer for this. Don't be Hangman's Gambit. Okay. There we go, Monokuma plushie. Even if Nagito's right hand was free, how could he stab his right hand with his right hand? It'd be one thing if he threw it into the air and let the knife fall. Could he stab his hand that way? Is he throwing a knife? Is he a throwing knife expert? Maybe he propped the knife somehow. There we go. Don't even need to see the rest of it. Life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife. It makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up, and then he slammed his hand onto it. I guess the thing that I'm like the most curious about now here, like if a lot of this isn't a red herring, like if Nagito did indeed kill himself, like why? His whole thing was trying to like out the traitor. So what is the motivation here? What about Nagito's possible suicide here will give us information about who the traitor is.
それならぬいぐるみを手元に置けばいいだけだし、あのぬいぐるみの謎の出血にも理由がつけられるよ。
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him, and it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
右手をナイフに振り下ろして刺した時の狛枝の血だったんだな。
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
なるほど。そういうからくりもあるか。
I see. So that's the trick.
一瞬マジでモノクマが死んだと思ったけどな。
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
血を出すぬいぐるみとか怖いよ。髪が伸びる人形レベルのオカルトっぷりだよ。
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
Yeah, that would be a little creepy. I mean, admittedly, I think that a lot of dolls that do certain things, like the baby dolls that eat and poop and stuff like that, are really creepy as well.
そうやってナイフを右手に刺した後で用済みのぬいぐるみを火元の方に払いのけたんだね。
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off towards the fire's origin point.
うまい具合に火事で燃えてくれりゃ証拠隠滅にもなるって考えたんだろうな。
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
クズルーさん、それならどうですか？
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
右手の傷は分かったけどよ。まだ一番でけえ問題が残ってるぞ。
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. If it's the spear, I have answers for you.
狛枝の腹に刺さった槍だ。要は、あいつは自分に槍を刺して自殺したってことだろ？
The spear. Basically, you're saying that Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with the spear, right? And we have the evidence of the blood on the girder above. We have the blood missing from his hand, and we have the blank space of blood on the rope. So we got this. It's just figuring out what order this information needs to be presented in.
順番的に考えれば、致命傷になった槍が一番最後に狛枝に刺さったはずだ。
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
だったら、どうやったんだ？
If that's true, how is that possible?
すでにナイフの刺さった右手で槍はつかめねえし、縛られてる左手で槍を扱うのも無理だろう。
He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was tied up.
じゃあ槍を先に刺したんだろう。そのまま我慢しながら右手にナイフを刺して。
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
我慢にも限度がありますよ。
There is a limit to his constitution.
あんなに太くて大きいものが刺さったらすぐに行ってしまいます。
Sonia, please, phrasing. If you got stabbed by something so large, you would die instantly. Fuck you and your writers. Don't, Kat. Do not. Do not, Kaz. I see you thinking it.
すみません、よく聞こえなかったのですが。
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
ですからあんなに太くて大きいものが刺さったらすぐに行ってしまいますって。
Like I said, if you got stabbed by something so large, you would die instantly, Kaz. Would you like to try it, Kaz? It's right there.
あ、もう一回だけちょっと録音をするので。
Kaz, I wish you had died, Kaz. It's right there, especially as a teen, that joke would be made. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even as an adult, that joke would be made. Like, okay.
おい、いい加減にしとけや。
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out.
確かにあの状態で自分に槍を刺すなんてかなり難しいね。
Like she said, in that condition, it'd be very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It's low-hanging fruit, absolutely, yeah.
ナイフが刺さった右手で槍を扱うのも難しいし、縛られた左手でも難しいとなると。
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
無理ってことか。
So you're saying it's impossible.
だけど私にはどうしても狛枝くんの死が他殺だとは思えないんだよね。
But no matter what I think, I can't believe that Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
それは私も同感です。
I also agree with that.
あんな風に残酷に殺す人がこの中にいるなんて、私には信じられません。
And to think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty? I could never believe that. There's gotta be some twist in this, right? It's not gonna be that, like, Nagito killed himself. It's that he set everything up, but that he actually died from, like, inhaling the poison that was in those fire grenades. Like, that's gonna be the twist, that the fire grenades are the actual, like, method of death. Even if Nagito tampered with them and put the poison in there, it's that someone else threw the grenade and that's what killed him. It's that we're all the killers.
信じられないっていうか、信じたくないだけでしょ。
You say you can't believe it. You just don't want to believe it, right?
でもそうやって今まで何度も裏切られてきたよね。だったら今回も。
But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? The same goes for this time, too.
勇者は黙ってるでちゅ。皆さんの邪魔をするのはルール違反ですよ。
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone.
それ以上やるようなら、あっちにも考えがありますからね。
If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
いやー、ものみがぐれちゃった。
Ah, Monomi's sassing me.
だけどモノクマの言う通りだよな。今まで何度も裏切られてきたわけだし。
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over so far, so...
今回だってそうかもしんねえよな。自殺で一件落着なんて虫が良すぎるっつうか。
This might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
でも、ソーダさんは私たちの中に犯人がいるとおっしゃるのですか？
Then are you saying that there is a killer amongst us, Kazuichi?
もちろん俺とソニアさんは除いてですよ。
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
ソーダくんの言う通り、確かに私たちはずっと騙されっぱなしだったよね。
As Kazuichi said, it's true that we've been consistently betrayed.
でもね、私はまた騙されたとしても、やっぱりみんなを信じたいんだよね。
But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone.
何度騙されたとしても、それでも私はみんなのことを信じたいんだよね。
No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone. These kids are so cute and not jaded. Yeah. It's, I definitely feel like you have to do this game, like this game with kids, because you do this with adults, and they're all like, I don't fucking care. One of you is the killer. Just fucking kill everybody until we get out of here.
俺だって犯人なんていねえって思いてえけどよ。やっぱ自殺はありえねえだろ。
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable. We've imagined it. We've come up with a workable theory here.
本当にそうかな。
Do you really think so?
けどよ、おめも言ったじゃねえかよ。あの状況で自分で槍を刺すのは無理だって。
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition. You do this with adults and you get the 999 franchise. That's a good point. That's a good point. I've never played that, but I did watch a little bit of it streamed. I forgot how much I liked this cast, with a couple of key exceptions who didn't make it this far. That's interesting, Yusu, because we've actually been complaining about these characters the whole time. There are definitely, I feel, fewer ones that I like in this game compared to the first game. My best boy is Fuyuhiko, and my best girl was Peko, but has since become Chiaki. I wanted to really like Mahiru. I really liked her character design, but I found that she got like really weird into gender roles and being like, the boys have to do this sort of thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't really like that. But I am very curious to see what traders and what characters we have in the third game as well. Agree on pretty much all of those. Yeah, the good ones are very good. I was really glad that Teruteru died immediately. I really wish that Kaz had died as well, because I'm like, oh good, the sex pest is gone, and then Kaz decided to take up that mantle, you know?
難しいとは言ったけど、無理だなんて言ってないよ。
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible. Huh?
あの槍を自分に刺す方法なら、なんかありそうな気がする。
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
どんな方法だよ。
What kind of way?
それはわからない。
I don't know.
わかんねえのかよ。
You don't know.
私一人じゃ無理だからさ、みんなで力を合わせて考えてみようよ。
It's impossible to figure out by myself, so let's think about it together.
今までだってそうやって乗り越えてきたんだし。
That's how we made it this far up until now, with the power of friendship.
みんなで力を合わせて。
Everyone working together. She's right. We made it through several ordeals up until now by doing that. Then, even now...
やってみよう。
All right, let's do this. Wait. None of these had anything to do with what I thought it was going to be. How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through. When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right? He was only able to move his left hand. But his left hand was also tied up. Then that rules out his left hand. That's going to be the argument. If that's the case, the only other way is... he used his teeth? Ugh, or the front tail again. Oh, come on. What are you saying? A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome. Okay, it didn't seem like a schlorp there. But it's definitely going to be that like his left hand was immobilized. That's going to be the thing that we're going to attack. If Nagito committed suicide, then he must have used the spear to stab himself. Even if his arms and legs were tied up, there's no doubt he used some part of his body. The only thing he could have used is... Okay, what do we have here? Torture wounds, burned rope. Okay, it's not going to be that. I don't feel like it's that either. Survival knife also doesn't seem like it has anything to do with this. Oh, it's blood on left hand. I didn't see that when it went through it first. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Okay, never mind. I got too excited to use it. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Oh, no. There.
それは違うぞ。待ってくれ。まだ左手の可能性を除外するのは早いぞ。
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
どうしてだよ。だって左手は縛られてたんだぞ。
I mean, like, you want to make inappropriate jokes. I feel like that previous line also could have had one. Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
ただ、あの左手にはちょっと気になるところがあったんだ。
Objection! Yeah. But there was something off about his left hand.
手のひらの血痕なんだけど、なんだか妙な血痕だと思わなかったか？
The blood stain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange?
血痕が付着してるのは手のひらの下の部分だけで、そこから先が不自然に途切れてたよな。
He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the blood stain suddenly cuts off, right?
血が飛び散った時、そこまでしか届かなかっただけだろ?
When the blood spattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
手のひらの血痕の説明はそれで済むかもしれないけど、不自然な血痕はそれだけじゃないんだよ。
That settles the description of the blood stain, but it's not the only unnatural blood stain.
ほら、手の裏の指の第二関節あたりにも血がついてるんだよね。
Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
確かに不自然な血痕だけどさ、それが何だってんだ?
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that? It's fine, right? We don't need to question this. We're not gonna die if we get this wrong.
ちょっと想像力を働かせて考えてみる必要があるかもね。
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit.
手のひらと手の甲にあんな風に血がつくってことは、血が飛んだ時の左手はどんな状態だったのかな。
If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood spattered? It was gripping.
そうか。血が飛び散った時、あいつの左手は握られてたんだろうな。
When the blood spattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand.
だから手のひらと手の甲にあんな不自然な形の血痕が残ったんだろう。
That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
まさか自分の尻尾。
Akane, please let it go.
そうじゃなくって、槍を握ってたに決まってるじゃないですか。
I mean, like, I know I was making jokes about, like, the rubber gloves and the gas mask under Nagito's bed, but, like, I think it's a very particular kind of kinky who's going to be doing that in this situation. Perish the thought. He was obviously grabbing the spear.
そういえば狛枝くんの左腕って他に比べて傷が浅かったよね。
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild.
槍を握る握力を残しておくためにわざと傷を浅くしておいたのかもしれないよね。
He probably made his wounds mild on purpose so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
けど縛られた左手で槍を握ったところで自分に刺すのは無理だぞ。
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible to stab himself. That's right. That's the problem.
なあ、ナナミはどう思う？
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? We've already solved this. Don't ask Chiaki, ask us.
おい、まさか眠くなったりしてないよな。
Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
こういう時はいい角度から叩けばいいんだよ。古いテレビと同じだ。
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV. That was, up at the cottage, there was a note from my friend's mom that was like, if the oven doesn't turn on, bang it in this one particular spot and it will work. Like, percussive maintenance. Gotta love it.
あ、ひらめいた。
Ah.
かもしれない。
I got it. Maybe.
マジで？
Huh? Really?
やっぱり狛枝くんが槍を握ってたのは間違いないと思う。
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear, I think.
ただし、その槍のどの部分を握ってたかが重要だったんだよ。
However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping. Yeah, Chiaki's got it. She knows what's happening here. What section of the spear he was holding on to. It was the cord.
そうか。そうか。狛枝は槍の柄の部分じゃなくて、そこから伸びた鞭の部分を握ってたんじゃないか？
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding onto the cord.
鞭の先端に鉄の粉銅がついてたんだけど、血痕はあそこにも付着してたんだ。
There's a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too.
しかも粉銅と鞭の継ぎ目の部分だけが途切れるような形の血痕だった。
Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
その途切れた部分の大きさってさ、ちょうど人の拳ぐらいの大きさじゃなかった？
Isn't the size of that cut off section about the same size as a human fist?
ああ、そっか。狛枝が左手で握ってたのがこの部分だったんだな。
Ah, you're right. So this is the part that Nagito was gripping, huh?
そんで本来はこの部分につくはずの血が
And then the blood that was supposed to end up here
狛枝の左手の方についちまったんだ。
ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
で、どうして槍のどの部分を握ってたかが重要なんだ？
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
鞭の先端を握って槍を振り回して自分に刺したとか言わねえだろうな。
You're not going to say that he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right? No, Kaz, because that's idiotic.
そこに全ての謎を解く手がかりがあるのですよね。そうですよね、ナナミさん。
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides, right, Chiaki? We are going to save right now in case it puts us into some sort of stupid mini game that I hate. There we go.
すみません。そんなに都合よくポンポン謎が解けたりしませんよね。
I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily. Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear? It's gravity, you assholes.
詰まってしまったようですし、ティータイムにでもしましょうか。
It seems that we are stuck. Shall we have tea time? I mean, I would love some tea time. Fuck. I would love some finger sandwiches and like a scone with some clotted cream and some sort of jam. Like I would be very happy for that right now.
むしろこういう時は
At a time like this,
いきなり結果を求めないでその一歩手前から考えてみる作戦でどうだろう。
how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting all the answers at once?
Heck yeah, tea time. Yeah, it's I love a good, like, here in Canada we tend to call it like high tea, which I know is not the accurate term, but I love a good high tea, afternoon tea, cream tea, whatever you want to call it. It is fantastic. I actually, for my birthday years ago, I went with my friends for high tea, and some of the guys are like, really, high tea, that's what you want to do? I'm like, you do not understand how fantastic it is. Like, do you like tiny decadent snacks? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, do you like hanging out with friends? I'm like, yeah. Like, do you enjoy beverages? Yeah. Okay, so high tea is fantastic. It is as fun as the company makes it. You don't have to be boring old biddies sitting around having it. You just have it with your friends and shoot the shit about whatever and eat delicious things. And it's fantastic.
長い作戦名だな。
That's a long plan name.
一歩手前というのはどういう意味ですか？
One step at a time. What does that mean?
まず駒枝くんに刺さる直前の槍がどこにどういう状態であったのかを考えてみるんだよ。
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
どういう状態って。
How it was positioned. Nagito was facing up and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that... That's it. Could it be? The state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment. If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure out... We figured this out hours ago! Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito.
Oh, fucking logic dive. Okay. Okay, what buttons do what? Jump is Y. Oh, fuck you. Oop. Got a snowboard about it. Okay, question 1. Where was the spear just before it impaled Nagito? It was above Nagito. Oh, fuck. I didn't realize the edge was right there. Above Nagito. Oh, now we have, like, moving obstacles. Lovely. Fuck you, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Okay, question 2. Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? A ceiling girder. Okay, they're gonna go this way now. Okay. You're just wiggling there, you're just wiggling there. Question 3. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder? It is the rope on Nagito's left, or the spear's cord. I was like, it was held in his left hand, but it's the spear's cord. There we go. That one wasn't too bad. It didn't have any bullshit jumps without like the little like jump slope before it. At least we improved the turning before the trial. True. Gotta be the stuff plushie. Not correct. Okay.
仰向けの狛枝に刺さった槍はその直前狛枝の真上で垂直になってたはずだ。
The spear impaled Nagito as he was lying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
垂直空中にか
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
狛枝さんが一人でそれをやったとなるとハンドパワーですか？
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
だったらすごいけど、多分彼の真上にあった天井の梁を使ったんだと思う。
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
おそらく狛枝は天井の梁に鞭を引っ掛けそこを支点とすることで
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder and using that as a support,
槍を自分の真上まで引っ張り上げたんだ。
he hoisted the spear directly above him. Okay, I think we're gonna save here.